Hi all, Mark Longman here. Just, I guess, wanted to share my journey over the last probably 9-10 years. A lot of people sort of ask me, they think that I seem to have done a whole heap of stuff. And at times when I reflect back on it, I guess that I have. But certainly to me, it's just sort of been, and opportunities have presented themselves, or opportunities that I have chased to make happen. So a quick summary of, I guess, my career, where I've sort of gone, the things I've done, just to give a better picture about myself and some of the experience that I have. And this isn't to try and brag about, I've done all these things, but I have had quite a unique journey, and I'm actually really grateful that the opportunities that I've had. So, earlier sort of going back, I had a paper round back when people used to read more newspapers. So I had a local newspaper around near me, used to ride around on my push bike. I think I started it when I was about 14. And I had this right up until I was almost 18. So I had it for a good probably three and a half years, all the way through high school, and just delivered newspapers in my local area, newspapers and catalogues. So I used to fold them all up at night over the weekend when I got them, and deliver them, and ride around on my push bike around the neighbourhood and deliver these papers. I think it was, I'm going back now, but from memory it was around about somewhere 250 to 300 houses that I delivered to. It used to take me a few hours, and that was my job. I finished high school, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. Some of my friends were going to university, and others jobs. I didn't really know, so I got jobs fairly quickly. I started as a door-to-door bookseller. Lasted in that for 1 week. That was not for me. And then I got a job at a petrol station, and the petrol station then was full driveway service. So this was 1992, and I got a job in a full driveway service petrol station. So you would drive in, I would fill up your car with petrol, I would check your oil, I would pump up your tyres, I'd clean your windscreen, and you didn't have to get out of your car. I'd take your payment, go and pay for it, and come in. Of course, it was before the days of pay pass, tap and go, so anyone that was paying by card had to go into the store. But if you were paying cash, you didn't even get out of your car. So you drove in, I did everything for you, we had a chat, and off you went. And amazingly, back in this day, this was probably a great job for me, because I actually was quite shy, and was very self-conscious in, I guess, talking to people and putting myself out. So most people that know me today would not believe this, because I can quite easily strike up conversation. I'm very comfortable getting up in front of people, but certainly back then, it was a bit scary for me. I wasn't a great, I wasn't very comfortable in getting up in front of people and communicating that way. So then an opportunity came up there I got a different job driving trucks. I was actually delivering big household gas bottles, so big 75 kilo house gas bottles. We didn't have a lift or anything on the truck. It was all done by hand. And again, that was up in my local area, up in the hills. And so we'd deliver this. So summer wasn't too bad. It was hot, but you didn't have as many deliveries. So we'll normally finish just after lunchtime. I'd start really early. We'd start at 5 a.m. and we'll generally finish by about 1 or 2. And then, but of course, come winter, you're dealing with people with hot water systems, gas cookers, gas heaters, and those first couple of cold nights, and it would just go from, maybe we'd have 60 deliveries a day, and it would suddenly we'd come in one day and it would just be 140 deliveries, and it literally was that big a jump. There wasn't sort of a gradual 60 to 70 to 80, it just went from sort of reasonable, and boom, we were on. I did that for 3 years, and I used to occasionally get my younger brother to come help me. He used to hate it. It was very hard physical work, and and he was young. He was 4 years younger than me, so I'm sort of 18, 19. He's obviously only 14, 15. And but anyway, I did that for 3 years, and I must have enjoyed it because I did it for so long. And it was quite. I worked by myself. I initially started with my boss, but I learned a lot from him. And obviously, I was engaging with customers. You go into people's houses, and so you're interacting and talking to people, which again just helped build up that skill within me. So did that, and then a friend of mine joined the police, and I remember thinking at the time that, oh yeah, that's right, I wanted to do that. So I was 20, I just turned 21, and so I applied and went through all the selection process and everything. Got in. So I think I applied in about June, July, and I was about July, I think, and then I was in the academy intake in October. So it was actually quite a quick process for me. So did that, graduated from there in 1996. And I joined in 1996, graduated early 1997, and then embarked on my policing career. Now that saw me, I'm obviously in the state of Western Australia, so it's a very large state, and I was able to work at a few different stations within the Perth metropolitan area. I was predominantly general duty, so just responding to general policing duties. Then I transferred to a regional location and ended up staying there for 8 years, and had the opportunity there to work in a few different roles, so including in a detective's office. I got to do a forensic course, so to be a forensic qualified officer, examining scenes of crime and things like that. And then I got the position as the branch manager of a police and community youth centre. And essentially, you're the manager. You're running everything. You're essentially running a small business. There wasn't a lot of induction in that, but essentially, I was running a small business for almost 3 years, and had to learn on the go and all the things about what you need to do to actually run a business and keep it financially viable, as well as meeting the community needs and the organisational needs. So we're running programs for at-risk youth and a lot of youth diversion programs and things like that. So, these are obviously things that actually don't bring in an income. So, there was a combination of trying to apply for grants, trying to secure funding, and try and keep a balance of traditional activities that did generate income to be able to fund all the other things. So I learned a lot from a small business perspective in that position. At the end of that, we wanted to move back to the city, back to Perth. And so I got transferred back to the police academy as a driver training instructor, and spent almost 3 years there. So teaching recruits and in-service people how to perform emergency driving. So urgent duty driving for Priority 2, responding to emergencies, as well as pursuit courses. We also did some, off-road motorbike courses and four-wheel drive courses and different things like that. So I had different roles as participants in some of those courses as well. So it's quite varied, and it was quite a good fun job, and obviously you're training and developing others, which I really enjoy. Anyway. Obviously came to end, decided it was 15 years now that I'd been in the job, and look, it wasn't for me anymore. It was time to move on. I wasn't enjoying it anymore, and there were quite a few things that were actually not helping me, and I was not comfortable with anymore. Just not anything bad, just it wasn't the right fit anymore. It was time to do something different. And so I resigned from the police. I was 15 years later and didn't really know what I was going to do. How do you take 15 years of policing and sort of apply that in the real world? And so I wasn't really sure. So I had an idea that I would try and get into training. And so I applied for about 8 different training jobs that I thought, yep, I can do that. Didn't get any interviews. Finally chased one up and managed to get a position as a trainer and assessor with a private company. And predominantly my main role there was actually teaching high school teachers how to be trainers and assessors, so that they could deliver certificate programs for high school students in the school setting. So I did that. As a result of working there, I also had the opportunity to travel to Papua New Guinea, and we visited with some key stakeholders over there. That was an interesting visit. It was something I'd never done or never been anywhere like that before. And we put together a proposal and got a registered training organisation status in Papua New Guinea for a whole range of certificate and diploma courses. So I was able to have a key part in that. Anyway, then the next opportunity. So opportunity I saw for as a training operations manager with the YMCA in Perth, and I applied and got that job. So I went in there and oversaw all their training operations in WA for 3 years. We had a variety of programs in fitness, early childhood education, some business and management type things, and I set up a large vet and schools program, so vocational education and training in schools, so those certificate programs. So we still managed to provide training to high school teachers. We had first aid programs as well that we were providing, and set up a vocational education training in schools program. So schools were able to partner with the YMCA to provide their certificate programs. As a result, I did a lot of work in their online learning space, so rebuilding a lot of their courses and online content. And then that created another opportunity. I saw an opportunity at a university for a learning designer. So to go in and assist unit coordinators and lecturers with their online learning space. And so I applied for that job. It was closer to home, and I got that job. In the interim, while I'd been at YMCA, I had re-established my own martial arts school for children, Kids Kempo Jiu-Jitsu. So I've set that up. That'll be 10 years next year that's been operating. And so I set that up as a part-time business. As a result of that business, I had been approached by some mums of some of my students if I could run some fitboxing classes, and of course I said, yep, I'll do that. And as a result of setting those up, I moved into getting fully accredited and qualified as a fitness trainer and a group outdoor boot camp instructor, and I set up another business that was a women's only boot camp and fitness business. I ran that for almost 8 years. And I really enjoyed both of those. They were great opportunities. It was great to have my own business and structure it the way I wanted, run things how I wanted, and have a real client-centered approach to providing fitness training and advice to that group of people that I was helping. And we had a great little community and great classes, and I'm still obviously good friends with a lot of those clients. So got the university job as the learning designer. That lasted about 6 months. They, not in a bad way, they found out that I was in training and development, could train people, and an opportunity had come up in their organisation development team. I didn't even know what organisation development was, and in fact, even getting the university job, I'd never been to university. Well, I should tell a lie. When I was at the academy, the university was over the road, and they had better coffee shops, so we used to go there for coffee. That was my university career, or studies was coffee at the cafes. So I got this anyway. I applied, got this job, having never studied at university, having no university qualifications, and here I was helping university lecturers and professors, rebuild their online learning spaces for students, trying to make it more engaging and make it more accessible and have it make sense. So I started doing that, and then obviously moved into organisation development, and my role there was to provide development opportunities for individuals and teams, and build capability in areas of leadership development, leadership and management, communication, coaching. So I taught coaching for managers. and providing managers and leaders with coaching skills and tools so that they could actually use coaching as a tool to help support and develop their staff. Also got to participate in the mentoring program there. So they had what's called the JLP mentoring program, it's the Joondalup Learning Precinct. So it's actually a partnership between the police academy, the local TAFE, the local government, City of Joondalup, and the university. And you're partnered up with mentors and mentees from different institutions and organisations. So you're not actually mentoring someone from your own organisation. So I participated in that as a mentor and helped deliver some of the workshops, the development workshops as part of that program. The second year I was in charge of overseeing the launch of that program and again helping provide some of the development opportunities for participants and participate as a mentor again in that program with another mentee. And really enjoyed that mentoring role. I probably approached it as more of a mentor / coach. So, rather than just sort of provide my advice around here's what I did, this is what worked for me, they were probably more coaching conversations around, what this person actually wanted to get out of it and what, where they wanted to go, and really helping them come up with options and solutions themselves to the things they wanted to do. So fast forward 4 years, and an opportunity came up to join another university. Prior to this, so during this time, I actually shut down my fitness business, and that was due to another opportunity. So I got the opportunity to join one of the state WA Football League clubs here in WA, joined the Mighty Royals, East Perth Football Club, as their wellbeing officer. So the wellbeing officer were new roles that had been set up to help support the Colts development program. So this is your sort of 16 to 19-year-old boys who are sort of trying to move into professional football. So it's obviously, it's the highest state level at that age group, and the boys are working on either trying to get drafted into the AFL to an AFL club, or at least progress and move up to playing state league footy. And So joined that and really enjoyed it, but obviously had to give up something. Can only fit so many things in. So I gave that up. I gave up my boot camp fitness business to take up that opportunity in the wellbeing role. And look, really enjoyed it. I'd been doing that for 2 years and really enjoyed that role. In the interim, so adding something else into the mix, I also came up with a partnership. I approached Martial Arts Australia and YMCA after I'd left, and I developed a coaching program for martial arts instructors, so that was actually linked to a Certificate 3 in sport and recreation. So we created an online learning program for Martial Arts Australia, and it provided martial arts instructors the ability to undertake study and development in coaching, sport coaching, risk assessments, health questionnaires with your clients, understanding your clients, preparing and developing programs, session plans, things like that, and obviously some martial arts use, so teaching the basic and intermediate skills of martial arts and self-defense. So we set it up as a 3 different level program, and if you completed all 3 levels, you were able to obtain a full Certificate 3 in fitness. So I helped broker that deal and develop the online content, and then I coordinated the courses. So had that going as well, but that's now finished and moved into a different sort of space. But anyway, so I finished the university job, and as I was still, and an opportunity came to join another university. So I was lucky enough to have that opportunity and decided that I would do that, and I've been doing that for the last 12 months. So so working in a similar organisation capability role, but a lot more project focused. So a lot more strategic. Have overseen the mentoring program there. So we have approximately 245 mentors and about 140 mentoring partnerships that I've been overseeing. I've also been a mentor to two other people in that program over the year, and we've provided ongoing development sessions for the participants, and that's gone really well. Some really good feedback about that. So yeah, that's sort of pretty much my career. It's I have, when I think about it this way and sort of unpack it, I've had a lot of stuff going on, but I really see a really common sort of thread and theme through there, which is this, I've always had a passion for helping and support other people. And, I think that's why I became a police officer. I became a police officer to help the community and to help people and be there as a person to, help people in times of need and make a difference. And, I'd like to think that in my career that I did that's what that did in service of that. Then sort of moving into sort of training roles and my fitness business, things like that. Again, that theme of just, supporting and in service to others has still always been there. And again, in my roles here at the universities is that same thing. It's all about building capability in others and empowering others to actually see what they can do and help them explore the opportunities that are in front of them. And so, of course, I've got my coaching business as well, where I work with clients, and part of what I'm developing here in this coaching business is all around empowering other people, using coaching as a tool to actually explore, what are the opportunities available to you? Where is it that you're trying to get to? And formulating a strategy to make it easier, to reduce the stress and remove that overwhelm that you're facing from just so many choices, too much choice, too much pressure, and really simplifying that whole process so that you can get some clarity and really see what it is you need to do to move forward. And look, it's obviously based on the experience. I've had a lot of experience. I'm grateful that I've had a lot of opportunities, and I'm able to take a lot of those experiences that I've had and the skills that I've developed through them and use that now to develop a program. Have a very, creative and sort of design thinking approach. I was lucky enough to spend some time with Duncan Wardle from Disney. He's the former head of creativity and innovation at Disney. He'd been with Disney for almost 30 years and now is doing his own thing. He came over as a keynote speaker with an organisation, with Hancock Creative, where my wife works, and I was able to spend some time with him. I was able to then attend a workshop with him and really just get this completely different perspective on creativity and innovation and being creative. And so I've got sort of this Disney approach on things that I can help tap into and use. I then was able to attend a program, the Design Your Life program with Stanford University. So 5 of their lecturers came over and visited us here in Australia at the university, and I was able to attend their program and go through the Design Your Life program. So again, using design thinking to actually explore, career opportunities and really focus on living a life by design and not a life by default. And so I guess that's sort of where I am now. So I've had all these things. I'm able to package it around a framework of design thinking and creativity and just exploration and fun, and really sort of explore what is out there, what can I do, what are the options, and helping people to actually get there. So a bit of a journey, and I'd certainly acknowledge that I have been fortunate to do a lot, and I'm really looking forward to what happens from here. So if I've done that much to now, what else am I going to get to do from here? So thanks.